lot of this is just experience and trying to learn from your mistakes, or learn that something probably isn't gonna. See? You see? I just was gonna throw this away and I grabbed my knife. The scourge of agriculture. Net wrap. Useful and also the scourge. I have nightmares of net wrap attacking me in my nightmares. Hi, I'm Brian Whitaker at Woodsand Ranch. We had a little snowfall yesterday. Hondo likes it. I don't mind it. It was a nice fluffy snow without a lot of wind, but that makes for a little bit of cleanup. And I've got a client coming for a lesson, so I got to get this a little bit cleaned up before then. Right now I got the bale unroller and the spear for hay. So since I have that on, it's probably time to unroll some hay anyway. I'll go ahead and do that before I switch this all out. By the way, what do you think of my Christmas gift? I love gifts that are functional, and up here in Minnesota we use stocking hats a lot. Plus, anytime I can get it customized with my brand on there, that's pretty nice. And we're good. I've had this tractor for, I think it's 2 years now. Glow plugs are nice. Since I've been here since 2002, I've never had a cab to do anything. They are nice. Sometimes they have their limitations, but pick up the 3-point bale unroller. I'm gonna complain about the cab and heat today, but the one thing now I cannot live without is right here. Front wheel assist. Baby calves are doing well. These are my wrapped bales. It's kind of like putting plastic wrap on your food. These are baled wet. This will be a little tricky getting down here. I made it. Can't go anywhere without pocket knife. Just cut it away from the next bale. Cut a slit in here so I keep the plastic here, so I'll throw it away, which what I've read, they actually will recycle this when you throw it away. You use about a bale every 2 or 3 days. Nice balage. Got some clover in there, all kinds of different, a little bit of alfalfa. Cattle love this. Now to get out of here. Question is, do I take the shortcut or the long way? No problem. Front wheel assist. Oh, I spoke too soon. Actually, that's what those calves are munching on. There's a core from the balage. When I unrolled, I grabbed that, gave it to them. Plus, they have some green alfalfa. They like to go back and forth. Variety, just like with us. Really high-tech, nifty gate catcher, though, that works really well to keep the gate open. Manure fork. All right, now to get in there without them coming out. We got one trying to escape. She doesn't know any better. She's too young to figure out, hey, just wait there. The hay's coming to you. The other ones kind of have that down. Not always. Not like this big guy. My bull, he says, I know the deal. That'd be nice, because I don't want him to get out. Boy, the traffic around here. My goodness. And they just drive so crazy. You can see there up on the left, that's the remnants from an unrolled bale before. And yeah, there's some hay in there, but I like to get out and give them hay before they run totally out so they don't gorge themselves and almost eat more the next time. And really, there's not a lot left. So So what they don't eat will just become compost, which will be fertilizer, which is mixed in with the manure and the urine, which is so good for the ground. And they really eat most of it. What they don't, they'll also lay on it too. So just a better way of going for me. I think anybody who's dealt with this net wrap, which keeps this round bale together, it's really good stuff, because if you had this outside, it sheds a lot of the water, so your bales don't get bad. Keeps them higher quality for the most part. But when you undo it, it sticks and wraps around everything, and you definitely don't want animals ingesting this. I don't. I have to take it off to unroll, and I always take it off no matter what. And then I always try to shake it out, because every little good seed helps. Look at all the little clover seeds in here. And then the trick is to roll it up tight and try not to let it get wrapped around. Oh, look how they mess with that. Itching on that. Gotta set that down before I wrecks my tractor. Look, it's actually moving the tractor. So the trick is not to let this, see already, it's hung up on me. Get it wrapped around, which it has. Oh, in fact, I see a little bit right there. It's not good. Gets in the grease, dries it out. Not good. All kinds of stuff it loves to get caught up in. And then try to put it in my pocket so they don't eat it. It doesn't get rebaled. Not bad. Run, roll a little bit better than I thought. It's just so much better for me to do it this way for them. We got some other extra guests here. Jay, Copper, Peppy, which is Jay's mother, Sawyer, Leo's up on the hill, and then here comes Pablo and Dee. I'll do a detailed video of all of them someday. I just love it. That actually worked really well. Unrolled just nice, a little thick, but that's okay when it's breezy. You see they stand on it, but this is the remnants, and even some of this was just, actually, they weren't ever gonna eat that. Some of that's like weeds. You just get spots in the field. So yeah, you do get some weed seed out here, but if you have a really thick, good stand of grass, it's part of it. Weeds are kind of a part of life for me. They're not, as long as you don't get them bad 2 years in a row in the same spot, because usually you can manage around them pretty good. Just works out really well. Less fighting. You can see where she went inside, even though it was bedded down, they still find a spot because it's warm. They get a little dirty. This way they stay cleaner, which keeps their coats better. When their coats aren't matted down and mudded up, they are far superior at staying warm and keeping moisture off them. Like you can see how fuzzy she is. Her coat's nice. Her coat is nice and clean. Yeah, you're a good cow. Just works out really well. Like I said, all the clover seed and all the good seed will be here, of course, with the weed seed, but I just haven't noticed anywhere where, because you can tell in the line in the spring exactly where it's grown, and clover is real obvious because it comes up real quick. That's a great thing about clover, is if you got a weedy spot, it comes up before the weeds to kind of choke them out. And it's fairly fast growing. And so if I saw a line of weeds, and most of the time you buy, you know, try to buy better quality hay, of course, which this is. It's really good hay. And there's always going to be spots where there's a weed here or there, whatever. And feeling good. Like I said, I think they like this weather. It's about 20 degrees with maybe a little colder with the wind chill, but they don't have to fight bugs. They don't have to fight the heat. No gnats. You know, they just stand there and or run around and eat hay to keep them warm. That's the best way for horses, I'm sure cattle, to warm them internally is through hay. And the best way to get warmed up is internally. And eating hay is the best way to warm them. Good roughage. A lot of it too. They always have hay. That way it just keeps them out of trouble. That's the great thing about this. This is one long feeder. And even this, they kind of push each other around, but they just find somewhere else then to eat. And like I said, you just don't let it get too low that they can't find enough. So they're looking good. No one crowding the gate now. There's too much good hay to be have. That'll probably last 2 days, give or take. It probably weighs dry, if it was a dry bale, weigh about 1,500 pounds. It's hard to say. I could weigh it, but that might weigh, I don't know if it's quite a ton. I don't know if it'll weigh 2,000 pounds because of the moisture in it. And like I said, it's a sweet smell it makes. It does kind of turn it a different color, like a tannish, brownish color instead of green when it's got some moisture. But it smells, there's generally no mold. It smells great. The cattle absolutely inhale it. They love it. That's also because of the quality of the hay. But I got a really fancy double latch system here. That's not a patent, but you know, you're free to use it. And this is that's a really high quality twine on a broken snap with wire. Yes, that's on the list to redo all this, but you know what? It seems to keep them in. So there's two great things about balage for me, and that's taking damp hay bales and putting them in this machine that makes the plastic wrap around it, is storage space, because now you can store it outside without any reduction in quality. In fact, that's where it's got to sit. And you can take bales that would normally not dry, because they really have to dry down. We're talking around here at least 3 days, and that's after raking it. You hope you don't get rained on. You hope it's not too high humidity. Last several years, it's been a real challenge to get dry hay. I got 2 crops of dry hay this year off of my field, unfortunately, but this stuff did get rained on, but just enough rain to give it some moisture and end up being really good balage. As you can see, you just need an area now to store it instead of taking up useful, you know, really valuable shelter space. I do have some dry bales in there as well. You know, to be fair, just like anything, you can't take junk hay that's even wet, just low quality grass, alfalfa, well, not alfalfa, but low quality cut hay or really rained out hay that's been just poured on or been sitting out in the field for days and days and make it good with balage. You still have to have a good product to begin with, like anything. And sometimes you never know how the balage is going to come out. Just like anything, though, when you bale, you think, that's not going to be very good. And a lot of this stuff, especially where I just took, came out much better than I hope, but I also try to keep my expectations low, so I'm pleasantly surprised. You just want to make sure it's good quality that they can live on, because that's all those cattle get now. They don't get anything else. They get their water, mineral, they get a shelter if they'd like to come in, which they generally don't. They might come in for a little bit when the wind's up like this, but I'll see a lot out there laying down and eating, and that's it. No other supplements do these cattle get, so I got to make sure the hay is good. All right, now. Good riddance.